Ever go to the store, pick up your favorite snack and think, wait, why is this suddenly more expensive? Or on the flip side, why is that new phone on sale when it was way pricier just a month ago? Well, it's not magic, it's economics. And the secret sauce behind all this price movement is something called supply and demand. So today, I'm going to walk you through how supply and demand work, how they interact, and why they make prices move like a roller coaster. All right, so let's start with the basics. What exactly are supply and demand? Supply is simple. It's how much of something is available. You've got a bunch of oranges at the grocery store, high supply. Now, demand is how much people want that something. Tons of people are craving oranges, that's high demand. So, when these two forces meet, they decide the price and quantity of goods in the market. Think of them like two characters playing tug of war with prices. Now let's talk about the supply curve. Imagine you're selling lemonade at a stand. If someone offers to pay you more per glass, you'll probably make more lemonade, right? This is why the supply curve slopes upwards. The higher the price, the more businesses are willing to produce and supply. So at $2 per glass, you might make 20 cups, but if the price goes up to $5, suddenly you're like, heck yeah, let's make 50 cups. More profit means more supply. Now let's flip it over to the demand curve. Imagine you're shopping for, let's say, the latest gaming console. When the price is crazy high, like $1,000, you might think twice about buying it. But if that same console goes on sale for $500, suddenly you're ready to buy. That's why the demand curve slopes downwards. The higher the price, the less people want to buy. And the lower the price, the more people are like, yes, I need this in my life. All right, here's where things get really interesting. When supply and demand come together at the equilibrium point. This is the magic spot where the amount of goods produced is exactly what people want to buy at a certain price. Think of it like finding the perfect balance between too many cupcakes at a party and not enough. Everyone gets what they need, and prices are just right. This equilibrium point is where the market is happy and prices settle. But things don't stay in balance forever. Changes can happen, shifting the supply and demand curves. Let's see how that works. For example, if a company invents a faster, cheaper way to make electric cars, the supply curve shifts to the right. That means more cars available at lower prices. But if the cost of batteries goes up, the supply curve shifts to the left. Fewer cars, higher prices. On the demand side, if suddenly everyone's obsessed with electric cars, the demand curve shifts up. That means higher prices even if the supply hasn't changed. Now, let's talk about something a little stretchy, elasticity. Elasticity measures how responsive supply and demand are to changes in price. Some things are super elastic, like luxury goods. If the price goes up, people stop buying. But other things like gasoline are inelastic. Even if the price skyrockets, people still need to fill their tanks. So, elasticity tells us how much demand or supply changes when prices change. Okay, so we know what equilibrium is, but what happens when markets get out of whack? If prices are too high, you'll get a surplus. Too much stuff, not enough buyers. And if prices are too low, you'll have a shortage. Tons of buyers, not enough stuff. The market adjusts over time to get back to that sweet spot, equilibrium. Now, sometimes the government steps in with price controls. These can really shake things up. A price ceiling is a maximum price for something, like rent control. It's meant to keep things affordable but can lead to shortages because suppliers aren't making enough money to keep up. A price floor sets a minimum price, like minimum wage, but it can cause surpluses, too many workers, not enough jobs. Now let's take a look at how supply and demand play out in the real world. When oil supply is disrupted, like during a political crisis, the supply curve shifts to the left. Prices shoot up because the same demand now meets a lower supply. On the other hand, when there's a new tech gadget everyone wants, demand spikes. Remember the first iPhone launch? That's an example of demand shifting up, and prices rising because everyone wanted one, but there weren't enough to go around. So to sum it up, supply and demand are the forces that make the world go round, and they're always at work behind the scenes, adjusting prices and quantities in markets everywhere. Understanding how supply and demand work isn't just for economists. It helps explain why gas prices rise, why new phones are expensive, and why rent is so high in certain cities. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let us know in the comments what topics you want to learn about next.